At Unilever, sustainability is core to our strategy. I want to share with you what we've been doing to reduce waste with a little bit of help from someone who will really appreciate the results of our achievements.
By 2020, there will be 8 billion people on the planet. And that means more consumption, more products and more waste. As the world has finite resources, humanity has to find new ways of conserving to protect our future. And as a large global company, Unilever has to lead the way.
We've always been working to improve our social and environmental impact. In 2010, we launched the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan. One of our most important goals was to get all factories to zero waste to landfill by 2020. Previously, it took us 15 years to bring 40 sites to zero, but in 4 years we have achieved zero at 200 more factories. This is 20 times faster and 6 years ahead of target. You might wonder how we did it. In 2008, waste was equivalent in volume to 30 Big Bens. A zero waste mindset was needed to eliminate this waste, ensuring we don't misuse the Earth's natural resources. First, we reduced waste at origin. By doing so, we contributed €200 million of savings to reinvest back into the business. Remaining waste was converted into something useful by recycling into substitute materials, organic fertiliser and green energy. This initiated the circular flow of resources and benefits for the planet beyond what we currently measure. Along the way, our collective efforts helped local communities all over the world by generating hundreds of job opportunities in areas where they're needed the most. This demonstrates the power of the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan in action. But this is just the beginning. In 2015, we'll make Unilever the first company in the industry to produce zero waste to landfill in all our facilities worldwide. And we will aim even higher. By sharing the model with our suppliers, partners, communities, customers and consumers, we can facilitate an end-to-end zero waste value chain.
It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. With a pioneering spirit, we can achieve anything. Humanity now faces its greatest challenge. Together we can help to change the world for the better. Don't you think?
So my beautiful daughter, Holly, who gives me great sense of purpose, gave some important messages there. I think the first important message was it will not be easy. And all of us in business every day, the challenges we face, realise it's not easy. Yeah? We face challenges here. We don't have the resources, we don't have the budgets. There's no infrastructure, all things we can relate to. But actually, another more important message we can learn from our children is the way they think. So we've become conditioned and incredibly good at finding reasons why something's not possible. And you talk around, we delivered zero landfill in 67 countries, 242 sites. I mean, incredibly difficult circumstances, and I think one of the ways we were able to do that was by people thinking in a slightly different way, and rather than finding reasons why we can't do it, do the simplest thing just to say, how can we find a route for this particular waste stream? Yeah? And just think about that for a moment. So rather than, I can't do this, this is impossible, etc., things we hear all the time, all too often. Just think about asking the question in a different way. How can we do this? And I tell you, I promise you, if you ask the question in this way, the answers are very, very different. I just want you to take a moment, just to have a look at this photo, and just have a think, what does this photo mean to you? So for me, I see an entrepreneur, so someone in an incredibly difficult environment and is making the best of what's there. And of course, it's sad, shouldn't be in that environment, but really making the best of it and taking the opportunity. Just show another photo. And what I see here is, that young guy doesn't deserve to be in that environment. So, Holly gives me my sense of purpose, and photos like this can give me a sense of purpose of why we do these things. And I hope people, for the job they do, can find a sense of purpose in why we do it. And as change leaders, all of us are driving change within our business. And we already spoke about how difficult that is. I think if we can find a sense of purpose, if we can get our people to find a sense of purpose and why to do something, it becomes a little easier. We discuss too often what we want to do. We are great at talking about even how we're going to do it. But when you really get people to change, it's mostly for them to say, why should I do it? Why should I walk over to somewhere and do this? Why should I do my small action, which actually, if everybody does a small action, those small actions combined actually start to make a very big difference. On to the more serious things. How did we achieve zero landfill? There were five big areas. So first of all, really importantly, we're not going to generate a lot of waste and celebrate not putting it in the landfill. From 2008 to 2014, we're about 13% down in terms of the waste volume we produced, while we grew our business 25%. So, and that's what a real value is. Everybody knows that. A real value isn't about negotiating a better contract and sending some materials to a recycler rather than to the landfill, but actually the value is to stop generating that waste in the first instance. And that's where our resource resilience comes from. We pay thousands of euros a tonne, a kilo sometimes, for the ingredients we use, and we put a lot of effort on recycling, but actually where's the real value? We know that. And of course, that's where we should focus in the first instance. Traditional recycling is an interesting one, actually. If I look into a factory, I see some materials coming inside a box. We unpack the materials, we flat pack the box. We do a great job at putting that into a pile, squashing it up. Someone comes in a vehicle, goes into a mill. We put a huge amount of energy and water into it, and guess what? We make it back into a box. We have to think a little bit differently there, because great, we're recycling lots of cardboard back into a box. So when we talk about the circular economy, what does it actually mean? So a really simple thing is sell that box to Pickfords. There are also other good renewable companies out there, so I'm not going to share some Pickfords. But actually, let's sell that box on and think about the environmental impact that's not happening. By the way, you get a fixed price for it, and you can talk quite good about it. One simple example. I have something in my pocket which is really dear to me, which is this. But I was told 2 years ago that it wasn't possible to recycle some materials we have in Unilever. 4-layered laminated materials, aluminium, PE, and some other materials, very, very difficult to recycle. Very not possible. So in Africa, in Latin America, squash these things down. We make some corrugated roof tiles, we make fence panels, and people said that's great, but our market's going to dry up, isn't it? And my point is, the opportunity there is as wide or as limited as what's between our ears, because why can't we make pallets? Why can't we make this podium from this? And this is something that goes into the ground that's going to take a long, long time to decompose it, ever in some cases. And the bit that really gets me is we make job opportunities out of it. And I say opportunity because people don't always need charity, they need opportunity. And then just very quickly, because I need to get back on piste, here's our story. And I think anyone that undertakes a difficult journey, break it down, make milestones, remember to celebrate along the way, and remember to have fun. Just within terms of the journey, we're committed to share a bit about why we're here today. This year, we want to hit our offices, our distribution centres, start with our suppliers, share the model, and amplify the impact that we can have that we learn, shine that bright light, help people along the way. And I just leave you with a little photo of collaboration. Thank you.